Okay, so we're going to go over conversions a little bit, and I want to start by looking at the metric system, which I covered in the previous lecture through the PowerPoint. But just a reminder, in the metric system, these are the ones we're going to be working with: kilo, gram, milli, micro. And of course, this can also be liter because that's our primary number, our primary unit. So these are called the primary units. And then if we go to the right, we are going decreasing, and if we are going to the left, we are increasing our value. So just like a number line, if you had a number line in math, you can almost look at 0 as the same thing as grams and liters, which is our primary. And then as you go negative numbers, you get less, and positive numbers, you get more. So it's kind of the same concept when we're looking at moving and converting. So to convert, here's a little note here: to convert to a smaller unit, move the decimal point to the right or multiply. And if you're going to the left, you're going to move the decimal point to the left. So it kind of follows: convert to a larger unit, move the decimal points to the left, and we're going to the left, so that would make sense. That should help you remember. So let's take a look here at 43 grams. 43, our decimal point is right here. So let's say we are going to convert it to kilograms. Okay, so kilograms is here, and grams would be a base unit or a primary unit. So we are moving it to a larger number. So because of that, we are going, since we're going larger, we're going to the left. So we are moving the decimal point how many to the left? Well, kilo is 1,000. So you count the zeros: 1, 2, 3. There's 3 zeros in a kilo. So you can move to the left 3 decimal places. So 1, 2, 3, and then I put my dot there and I add my 0 into my loop. You always want to put a 0 in front of it. So the answer is 0.043 kilograms. Okay, that's an easy way to move through the metric system only, because we're always working in tens. So tens, hundreds, thousands. So we're always working in that, so we can just move the decimal to the right or left. Let's say we're taking 43 grams again. 43 grams, there's our decimal, right? Okay, and we want to convert it to milligrams. Well, milligrams, here's your base unit. Milligrams is 1, 2, 3. It's 3 decimal places away. So, and we are going to a smaller number, so we're going to multiply or move our decimal to the right. So you can do 1, 2, 3 and put a dot there, and then you would add zeros in. So our answer would be 43,000 milligrams. Okay, now that is one of the very easy ways to convert in the metric system. I'm also going to show you dimensional analysis. I will move them this way, but sometimes when I get into larger numbers, it just helps me make sure that I'm moving the decimal place to the correct way. But I'm going to tell you, larger, if you're making your number larger, you're going to the left. So L, L. If your number's getting larger, you're moving the decimal to the left. If your number's getting smaller, you're going to the right. Smaller, right. Okay, and that might help you remember with the L and the L. Larger to the left. Okay, now let me show you dimensional analysis, because we use this in other ways as well. And this is the method for converting metrics that are equivalent. It's probably most common if you've taken any chemistry, you've done a little bit of this, any little general physics. So first you want to identify the given, and then you identify the conversion factor that will help you get from the original unit to your desired unit. You can set it up set up your equation so that your undesired unit cancels out to give you a desired unit, and multiply through to get your final answer. So what I do is I always start with my given. What do I know? So it says here, convert. Let's see if I can get you guys in the whole screen here. Okay, so we're going to convert 2.5 grams to milligrams. So I want to start with my given, which is 2.5. 2.5 grams. Okay, and now identify my conversion factor. What am I converting to? Well, I'm converting to milligrams. So I always set my equal sign way over here and I put milligrams there because I want to leave some space for me to write in here. Okay, so now how am I going to get from grams to milligrams? Well, you have to know your conversions. Well, milli means 1,000. So I can tell you you want to put grams on the bottom because you want to cancel those out, and you want to put milligrams above it or whatever would match it. So there is 1 gram in 1,000 milligrams. Okay, now I ask myself, I've canceled these out. Am I in the units I need to be in? Yes, I am. Milligrams and milligrams. So now I just do the math. 2.5 times 1,000, and you can type it in your calculator if you want, or you can quickly do the math since it's simple math, but I'm just going to show you in the calculator just so you guys get it, and multiply by 1,000, and your answer is going to be 2,500. And that should be your answer converting from grams to milligrams. Okay, let's take a few more. I have a few more that are written down here on a piece of paper in front of me, and I'm going to just do a couple examples and we'll go through it a couple more times. And I'll do both ways. Sorry, I'm making you guys dizzy here trying to get my camera in here. So I got to turn it a little bit. Okay, so the first one, we are going to convert 0.200897 kilograms, okay, and we need to make it micrograms, okay? That's going to be a long one, okay? So our first question is, what are we starting with? We are starting with this answer, 0.200897 kilograms. And I want to get all the way over here to micrograms. And I left a lot of space because it's going to take me a little bit because micro is 100,000 smaller than a gram. So kilogram, there's 1 kilogram, and I'm going to go to grams. I'm going to show you each step. There's 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. Okay, now I got to get rid of my grams because those cross off. I want to cross off my grams. 1 gram is equivalent to 1,000 milligrams. Am I there yet? No, I still got to keep going. There is how many milligrams in a microgram? There are 1,000 micrograms in 1 milligram, and I can cross those off. So I'm crossing off all my units to make sure I'm ending up with microgram, and I'm going to 1,000 times multiply that by 1,000 3 different times. So you can move your decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we are going smaller, so we'd go to the right. So you could do it that way. So we're going to the right because we're going smaller, and we're moving it 9 decimals, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that should be our answer. Or we can put it in our calculator. Let's see what our calculator can do. So we have 0.200897 times 1,000 times 1,000 times 1,000. Okay, so because it's such a large number, it's giving us 2 0, 0, 8, 9, 7, 0, 0, and there's one more 0 because that's where the point is, 0. So that is the correct answer. And you could put your commas in there. 200 million, I believe, is the correct answer. And that's how you convert. That's a big one to convert. So those are your two options. Let's try a couple more just to practice. Let's go from 0.0698 liters, and we want to get to milliliters. Okay? So we can do it one of two ways. We can start with our 0.0698 liters, and we want to get to milliliters. And we want to put liters on the bottom so we can cancel these off, and milliliters on the top, right? And there's 1 liter, 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter, okay? Since we're making this number smaller, because milliliters is smaller than liters, are we going to move to the right or the left? We're going smaller. So we're going to move to the right. So you could, and we're going to move it how many? 1, 2, 3. So you could take your decimal and move it 3 times to the right. 1, 2, 3. Put your decimal there, and your answer would be 69.8. Okay, according to that. If we put it in the calculator, like our dimensional analysis shows, let's go ahead and do that so you guys can see. We're going to do 0.0698 times 1,000, and the answer is 69.8. So you could do it either way, whichever way you like. Okay, let's try and go to a larger number. Let's go from smaller to larger. So let's do number 3 here, and we are going to do 5,786 milliliters, and we want to go to liters. Okay? Oops, you guys can't see that. Let me make sure you can see it. So we are going to start with what we know, 5,786 milliliters, and we want to get to liters. So we put milliliters on the bottom so we can cross them off. We're going to put liters on the top. And how many milliliters are in a liter? There's 1 liter and 1,000 milliliters. Okay, so now we're going larger because liter is larger than milliliter. So if we're going larger, we're going to the left, right? So our decimal point is right here, 5786. Our decimal point's right here. We can move to the left 1, 2, 3, and our answer would be 5.786. Okay? Or you can put it in your calculator, which I'll do right here. 5,786 divided by 1,000 equals 5.786. Okay, so that's our answer. Usually we round, remember we got to think about scientific notation and which place value you should move it to. Most commonly we move it to the hundredths place, which is the second spot behind the decimal point. And you want to use your rounding rules. Our rounding rules in pharmacy is 5 or greater, you round up. And if it's less than 5, you round down. So here, this 6 is greater than a 5, so we're going to make our answer 5.79. We're going to round up using scientific notation. Okay, now pay attention to what your problems say because it'll tell you which place value they want you to round. They may say the hundredths place. Well, then in that case, we wouldn't do anything. We'd leave it. If they said round to the tenths place, then we'd be 5.8 would be our answer. So think about where you're going to round it to or whatever your problem asks, okay? So that is converting in the metric system. So if you have any questions, you can review videos out there on conversions, but this is a pretty simple process. We will go ahead and I'll teach you how to convert in household systems here and between these systems in the next video. So have a good day.